Pastor Hector is another story. He came to know the Lord years later over in Villavicencio when my parents came back to be missionaries in the 80s. And he's just a Colombian guy that didn't know God, grew up out here in the jungle. It just so happened that his mother was a cook here at this mission in the 40s.
Hi, my name is Hector, and I want to tell you a little bit of the history of this place. In 1948, 49, 50s, Colombia suffered a big revolution. The Liberal Party and the Conservative Party were involved in a big religious war because the Conservative Party is backed up by the priests and the nuns, and they told everybody who believes them that if you kill 23 liberals, you will go straight to heaven without passing through purgatory. My family has been always a liberal family, so they were almost exterminated at that time. They lost all their properties in the Guavio area, and they have to cross the river at night time and escape for their lives. And they moved over here, and they met Naomi and Ed, who protect them for 2 years.
And he went to study English, and you have to hear his whole story, at the mission in Villavicencio where my mom and dad were in the 80s.
After those 2 years, they came to burn this place, and my grandpa was killed on the road. The missionaries were deported to the United States, and a group of people who came to kill my grandma and the rest of my family put them in line after they burned the Bible school here. And they told my grandma, "Ask for your last wish, we came to kill you because we already killed your husband." That was my grandpa, my mother's father. And she told them, "If you are such a good killers like you testify you are, kill us at once with your best shot and don't let us suffer. That's my request." They put their heads down and they were waiting for them to be killed. That was my grandma, the oldest one, my mother, about 14 years old, my uncle Francisco, who later on was killed when he took over the direction of the family. 20 years later, he was killed in another kind of turmoil time. And the rest of my uncles and my grandma was expecting my last uncle from Juan Evangelista Perilla, my grandpa. And after my grandma told them, "Kill us if you are such a good killer, just don't let us suffer," they put their heads down. They were not crying, they were waiting for what they were sentenced, death. But those words, and I know it was the Lord who had plans for my family for not to be erased yet from this earth, put fear in the heart of those people. They were quiet, put their rifles down and walked silent through those hills over there, and my family survived. Nothing was left in this place but an old horse and an old saddle. My grandma put the little ones there in blankets, tying them to the saddle, and walked with them through those mountains up to Bogota, about 15 days, and the Lord gave her strength and she was able to survive with all of them. Later on, they came to their former lands. They were all occupied. They went down and took over 150,000 acres, put 1,000 cows, but again the evil ones came against the family and they killed my uncle. My father was killed in a cattle accident, and then we were given also time to leave our property and leave everything behind, and we left to Villavicencio. I became an atheist, but 10 years later, Ed and Naomi came again, the same ones who helped my grandpa and my grandma in this place. I met them in an English class. 6 months later, after I hear my first Bible study, I surrender my life to Jesus.
Came to know the Lord, not knowing that these were the missionaries where his mother had served with out here in the jungle. He got saved, and he encouraged the people in his church to come to Bible school here. So we started building and building. I'm thinking I'm going to build a bus stop, but Hector wanted to turn it into a Bible school.
And I've been serving him since then. God bless you guys.